Good afternoon, folks. Welcome back to the farm. Today it's that time of year when we get to find out just how much work we've got cut out for us in April. It's time to scan our ewes ready for lambing. Well, we did a fairly good job of getting the ewes in. We've had the animals that were on the paddock we've put down onto the meadow for now. It's far too wet for them to be down there for any more than a few hours, but it is a bit green so they can have a nibble. Then we brought the ewes off the top field and we've brought them down into the yard. So they've got the ewe lambs with them, which are last year's female lambs. We want to get those out because it just makes it a bit easier. I've got about 10-15 minutes before they get here, so hopefully that's enough time to sort them through. Now when we're up close and personal, it's a bit easier to tell the condition, and while the ewes seem to be okay, the ewe lambs, there's a few which just look a bit mucky and not ideal, and they're obviously next year's breeders and ones we want to sell to other breeders. So we're going to see if we can pull them out, but I might try and get them in the stable with Buddy and deal with them after. So here we go. This is a pen of ladies. Both are hopefully pregnant ewes and the ewe lambs. Ewe lambs have got blue ear tags, and there's some which are looking pretty decent. There are just a few runty ones in there which I can tell are just a bit thin. So whether or not I can get them into there, I don't know. We'll see. The other option is I get everyone into there and then filter them out, which might be easier. Just means that Buddy's going to escape. Now my main worry, as I think I shared in a previous video, is you can see on the back these ones that have been tupped blue. Now we started with green, the raddle, and there will be some greens in here, or maybe it was blue. Sorry, no, it was blue. We started with blue, so they're obvious, but it just seemed like there's absolutely nothing on here. So either it was just not marking very well after the week or two it had been on, or he hasn't got to some of them. Now if he's got to some, I'd hope that he's got to all of them, because at least he knows what he's doing. But obviously new ram is always nervous times, and we only have one ram in there, so we pin a lot of hope on him. All right, that's all the lambs in there. Definitely not happy with those, but we'll deal with them separately. We'll put them in a separate pen. I'm just in the middle of making some space up in the Dutch barn to bring in some stores, basically, just to give them a little bit of extra grub, which we don't normally do, but I haven't got enough hay and there's no grass, and it just is what it is. Let's do some sheep counting. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8, lost it already. 8 9 10 11 12 13 14 15 16 17 18. Got to count the heads, Tim. 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, I'm getting. Check your teeth. You might not have any. Right. She has got some. So to give you an idea, she's older, not great teeth. If she's not pregnant, and that's probably her last year. This girl here is one of the first ones we bred, and she looks really nice. Even that can be misleading because it's obviously under the fleece, but she feels okay. She looks healthy. No mark on her, but we hope she is in lamb. She would have had lambs last year. Yeah, she's good. And then for a contrast to her, we've got this girl, who is one of last year's lambs. So, well, I say last year's, a shearling. So this is their first time being scanned. Bit of marking on the back, so hopefully they were covered. That's a wild Welsh one at the back. She should be gone. So if she is in lamb, she'll be sold. And that one, any of these dark maroon ear tags, we bought them in a sale. They're pure clean, registered, but too wild for us. We like chilled out ones. And her, she can go once she's got another ear tag. They were okay last year lambing, produced good lambs, but wouldn't let you anywhere near them. And because we outdoor lamb, that's a nightmare. These girls, we could just walk up and check on them. And we're hoping that our shearlings from last year that we've bred will stay nice and calm as well. Anyway, I've just had a call to say he's going to be an hour late, so everything's set here. Let's go up in the barn. I'll show you what I'm doing up there, and we'll see if we can get a pen set up. Right, we're up here by the Dutch barn, and this is what I was mentioning earlier. This is the mess we're left with, because we use it for storing as well as, well, we don't really use it for much livestock wise. Now and then the cow came up here, and the pigs come in for farrowing sometimes. But what we want to do is make up a pen for all those sheep, just get them off the field. I made this pen at the back. The driving rain, no gutters, makes this horrible. But that's not going to be big enough long term for more than a week. So we're going to go 2 bays. So I just spent this morning stacking up all this oak. This is the timber graveyard. So all this oak feather edge, which had been getting in the way, is on there now. I'll tow this out. I'll load that into the stone barn. And then all of this we'll have to tidy up. Basically, I want to get to that post, because that gives me 2 bays, so it's 2 15-foot bays, and I can pull a gate across there, and then hopefully get 2 gates on the front here. Now, because this is a future project, getting a new concrete slab in here and putting in some new posts and making it more user-friendly, what we want to ideally do is get this so it can have a bit of a mezzanine hayloft above it. We just don't use the height, so that means we could temporarily house livestock below, hay above. But this is what I'm coming up with for now. I've got a bunch of these clamp on gate hangers, but they don't fit on these tiny little posts. So I was just playing around this morning, could I drop in 2 bolts to pinch up, and that didn't work. And I've found some steel plate now, so a steel plate dropped in on one side and then clamped tight should work. There's no point in trying to tack anything on. That's really tightly clamped in there. So this is probably the only bit of plate I've got. I'm going to cut that down to some 50mm strips, and then we'll have to sit one of those behind each one of these brackets. So I need quite a few. Bring on half an hour with a 4-inch grinder. Well, that's not fun, is it? Right, see if we can get one of these on at least whilst the battery's charging in the background. Might actually be a far more simpler option than this, but for a temporary hanging on a small post, I think you can get ones that clamp onto a round post. They might go onto this, but I know that as standard these don't go as small as this, whatever it is, 75mm post. So apart from just welding or bolting something on, which would, for the sake of 1 month, probably not be worth it. 1 month, yeah, right. This will be on here for 3 years. I'm really hoping that I've got a load of stone to crush, that we can get that crushed, put it in here, level it all out, because the whole thing slopes to the back at the moment. It's crazy. And then we can get a slab in. I've got a quote, it's just a bit painful to be paying that at the moment, and there's no farm income. Alright. These are much heavier. They're probably about 50% heavier than a normal sheep field gate. I guess they're cattle yard gates, aren't they? So there's a lot more stock pressure on them. So what I want to make sure is that they're not just sat bouncing away. Whether we actually get a latch on it, probably not. I'll put some blocks so that end can sit up and take the weight. These are 15-foot bays, but what are we left with here without a tape measure? That means that steel, it does look like it's almost at the bottom there. It really has taken a whack. I'd love to have been near the cab when whatever hit that. I'm guessing the JCB. Okay, we're all geared up. We're just about to start off. The boss man's here, Roo.
Wait, we're not going in there, mate.
Hello. Hiya.
Not sure.
Can you count the sheep?
1, 2, 3.
Busy day then. It's weather or anything made it results different this year at all?
Yeah, it seems to have affected it.
What, lower than normal?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not everywhere, but
Yeah.
depends how well off you were with grass in the summer, I suppose.
Yeah.
Or feet.
Go on.
There you go. Have that.
Got quite a lot of ones.
Let's get this. Well, one's better than none. Come on, high girl. Now we're a couple of weeks on now, just editing the video and realised that we haven't really explained what the outcome of that all was, so let me give you the lowdown. So I've moved the ewes down to the lake field and just given them a little bit of grub to top them up whilst we're waiting for some extra hay. But you can see there is quite a lot of blue in the flock. Now blue is not necessarily a good thing. It's not a really bad thing. Blue is our single mark. And normally it's a lot more green. So unfortunately, we have a very low lambing percentage this year. And that is, well, I guess it's just that dry summer and us maybe not pampering them enough pre the ram going in. But, you know, every single sheep is in lamb. There's only one that wasn't, and that's because she had a lamb with her. She's our summer lammer. So it's kind of good that she is empty because she'll be back in sync ready for next year because she's a good one, which is this one here. So we've got a lot of singles, 19 of them to be precise. We don't have any triplets, so it's not like we can use them to foster others, but it is what it is, and it just means that we're going to have some nice big chunky lambs this year because they're going to have absolutely endless amounts of milk, plus they're going to be half Texel. So it might be okay. It also means less mouths to feed during summer, less extra feed to give them ahead of lambing. So, you know, maybe it'll be okay. And of course, we've got some first timers in there, so if they have a single, that's not a bad thing either. But that's the update. That's what happened with the sheep. 139% or something like that. Normally we're 190 something. So, you know, it's not going to be as many lambs this year, but it is what it is. We've got enough other stuff to keep us busy, and we may well sell a few of these with their lambs as soon as they're born, or in, you know, after a week or so, to thin out our numbers. But the hay situation is pretty dire. Fortunately, I found some locally. I'm going to go and collect in the morning, but I am obviously paying a premium for that. I'm hoping that, you know, it's only a few more months. Looks kind of nice weather tomorrow and feels a little bit springy, but then, you know, the following day it's back to this cold, miserable and winter-like. There's certainly no growth in the field yet, so I'm trying to rest 2 fields, and of course all the meadows are out of action because of all the flooding. So, you know, maybe by spring it'll warm up, dry up, and we're going to get an extra 10 acres back. Well, you can't really tell much, but compared to the other fields, this is green and there is a little bit of grass there. Obviously the other side of the brook is completely out of action because it's just wet. Any livestock has to cross through the water to get there. But this side, on the dry days, as long as it hasn't rained heavily for a few days, I've given them a 6-hour burst, and they've come down here for a bit of fresh grass just so I can eke out the hay a little bit. But you can see the water's up about 50% now. That has quite often been up over all of the other side under and most of this side, so it's just not worth risking anything overnight being down there. But hopefully we will have some land that we can put the lambs out, turn them out onto in sort of mid to late April. I should end by saying, well, apologies really for the lack of videos. It's not because there's a shortage of stuff going on. It's quite the opposite really. There's a lot going on with the build, of course, so there's plenty of videos going out on the Restoration Couple channel. But as far as the DIY Farm channel, we just had to take a little bit of a step back. We have been trying to post stuff on our Instagram account, so if you wanted to have kind of more regular updates and short little bits, you head over there. But we do have plenty of footage filmed. We had a calf last week, which is really exciting, so there's a video coming out on that shortly. And then we'll be doing a general update on the poultry business, because in the next 2 weeks that all kicks off again and we'll have 200 or 300 birds here. Joe and I have been spending every Thursday and Friday knocking down stuff, building stuff, painting. It's all looking really good, and it won't be long before we can share that with you. So all that said, thanks for sticking with us. Plenty more content coming this year, just might be a more steady pace than last year. Thanks for watching, see you next time.